summer vacation. I'm just kidding. His Holiness Karmapa had conducted many precious teaching for many weeks. So I know many of you are fully engaged to listen to such profound teachings. So I thought maybe I should wait for some time and then again start the discussion. So here we are. Today, what I'm going to share with you is about relationship or unique relationship between guru and disciple, their qualities, and how we maintain this unique connection. This is very important. Without knowing how we can keep this connection, we won't be able to learn and acquire all the knowledge that Guru possesses. So it is very important. So those will have 2 sessions this week and next week. And the week after third week, then I'm going to share with you about Pardo. It's going to be a long session, probably 5 to 6, 7 weeks. So anyway, I will let you know when I begin to teach. So coming back to the main discussion, which is about Guru. You know, to learn particularly profound teachings in Buddhism, we must have a proper guidance. Fortunately, today, we have many opportunities to look at YouTubes, watch YouTubes, read books, listen to different discussion from profound, highly accomplished gurus. On the other hand, sometimes I would say it's we may listen to wrong things and maybe not so meaningful to us. So we need to know what we should learn and how we should approach, and most importantly, how can we put into practice. This is very important. So in order to do that, we must find a guru. So it is very important. As you know, in Kunsang Lame Shalom, Zapatu Rinpoche has clearly stated, first we have to be very skillful in looking for a guru. We must study first what kind of guru he or she is. Secondly, and after finding guru, we have to depend on guru and learn from the guru. And finally, the conduct, the wisdom, the knowledge of guru, we should try to acquire as much as possible. And this will bring us temporary relief from all forms of confusion. And ultimately, this will bring us realization. So it is very important. Now, I'm going to have a post together on the screen, so you can just follow the post, okay? Okay. Okay. So these are the points I would like to share with you. I think you can go. Okay, go. The English, yeah. Okay. You know, to meet someone, a very qualified teacher, and to have an opportunity to listen to teacher is very rare. You know, it is very rare. And you know, and particularly when, you know, to actually to acquire such a wonderful, precious human body, it is even harder. So when we're having all this together, we are so fortunate. So we shouldn't waste time. That's what is really very important. And once we, once we start to look for a guru, and this is where we can look forward for spiritual gain. Now, as Shantideva rightly stated, Dharma is the only medicine, only medicine to cure the disease that we may have possessed for many, many lifetimes. When we have ordinary health issues, we can go to see doctor, but then we have an issue that we have inherited for many, many lifetimes. That doctor is not going to do anything, not able to help anyway. So we need to get help from the teacher, and by learning his or her advice, which is the Dharma, and then and not only that, we are learning from gurus the special precious message from Buddha. When we learn, we have to learn with an open heart. We have to be respectful, to learn Dharma. I think we are so fortunate, as I mentioned earlier. If you look at the life story of many gurus from Tibet, or they traveled to India in the earlier days, like many, like many spiritual gurus traveled to India to receive teaching, and there were no hotels, there were no proper transportation. There were so many dangers that they faced along their journey, yet they traveled to India to receive teaching from many great masters, But today, in a way, we are so fortunate. We don't have to travel anyway. We can just sit comfortably at home, all the teaching that you can just receive online. So in a way, so we are very, very fortunate. I would say more fortunate than many gurus to have to take all this long journey. However, what is important is the practice. If we cannot put into practice, then it doesn't make sense at all. And in order to practice, we need to find guru. So this is very, very important. And I will
另外一
explain.
方面，我也会解释
What are the
Kualitas.
that,
Apa kualitas?
Gurus, the qualities of gurus, as well as disciples. Not only guru have to have certain qualification, as well as disciples. So it's not just the gurus, but as well as disciples must have certain qualities which will come later. So today I will explain the qualities of teachers. What are the qualities? But one thing that you have to keep in mind, we are living in a dark age. Living in a dark age. Even there may be many gurus who have all the qualifications, but due to our strong obscuration or defilement, we are not able to see all this quality. What we tend to see is all the wrong thing with the guru, like Devadatta, the cousin of Buddha, who spent almost 25 years with Buddha. And then he said that I spent 25 years with you and I never see anything good about, so this is nothing to do with the guru, but it is all due to our karmic effect. Okay, this is what you need to understand. And as I mentioned earlier, guru is very, very important. Firstly, to acquire the knowledge, and secondly, in order to acquire liberation, even in relative terms. Of course, ultimately, without the guidance of guru, there is no way we can acquire this freedom, you know. And one of the Paljung Namdar, one of the sutra, Paljung Namdar says, you know, Guru is like the pilot. If we want to travel anywhere without a pilot, we can't just sit in the plane and wait for someone to fly. It doesn't happen. You know, pilot has to fly the plane. So similarly, if you want to reach the other shore of the ocean, where nirvana is, we need Guru. So Guru is very, very important. So basically, a skillful student, you know, who will respectfully look for a Guru, and then you know, acquire all the knowledge from Guru in order to help us in our journey, difficult journey, the journey, you know, that we have to undertake. So therefore, Guru is very, very important. And this is the reason why I really wanted to share with you. I know many of you have probably learned about, you know, and probably there are many others who may not have about Guru, you know, and our relationship between Guru and student is very unique. You know, even for instance, between parents and children, the connection of relationship is very different for the brother and sisters. Among friends and wife and husband is very different. And Vajrayana particularly, the relationship or the connection with the Guru is very, very unique. You know, this has been the case in the past, and this is the case today, and this will be the same uniqueness of our relationship in the future. You know, no matter where Vajrayana travels, this uniqueness will be always, you know, will be there. And, you know, we can't change this uniqueness, the special connection between teacher and student. You know, when we want to learn anything, we have to open our heart, and we have to be part of that journey, part of that tradition, you know. And this way, you become a complete Vajrayana family. So it's not like a food, you know. Food can be, you know, like in different, it can, like, depending on the different country. You know, like for instance, Chinese food in America is Americanized, but in Europe is Europeanized, in Asia, many parts of Asia, Asianized. So food can be, you know, can be served in taste of different countries. But the teaching of Vajrayana, the approach, we may, you know, differently change. You know, we can have different changes, but in terms of uniqueness, always remain the same. You know, it's nothing to do with the tradition, it's nothing to do with the culture. This is what Vajrayana is. And particularly in Vajrayana, you know, Guru plays very, very important, and the lineage plays very, very important. Because in Buddhism, I've got triple gem, okay? And Vajrayana, we add 3 roots. Guru is the root of blessings, and Yidam or Tara, Avadabuddheshwara, we can take as a Yidam, part of accomplish, okay? And then all the Dhammapala protectors are the part of activities, source of activities, which protects us not just from external forces, most importantly, internal forces, which are the emotions, where the danger actually lies. So therefore, Guru is very, very important. Now, when you look for a Guru, you know, necessity relying on spiritual, you know, when you look for a Guru, we can't look for a Guru, someone who has less quality, less knowledge, less wisdom than us. Then what happens is, no matter, you know, wherever you have learned so far, you may forget, you become worse, you don't improve. Okay, therefore we have to look for a guru, who is someone higher in terms of knowledge, wisdom, and quality, which is very, very important. Okay, and now that's one thing. Secondly, when you look for a guru, we cannot look for a guru, someone very equal to you, equal to us, then there's no much difference. What I know, my guru knows, what guru knows, I know, so we are equal. So there is not much of learning from the guru. So having such guru will not help us in any way, anyway. Okay, so we need a guru from someone that we can actually improve our spiritual qualities and particularly inner realization. Therefore, when you look for a guru, we have to look for a guru, someone who is higher in terms of knowledge, in terms of wisdom, quality, whatever, whatever we needed for our spiritual growth, for our realization. So we need someone better than us. This one we have to keep in mind. Okay, earlier, you may come across that they take 12 years to find the right guru and 12 years to find a suitable student. That will be too long for us because most of the time, I've seen myself and I asked myself many times, guru disciple even doesn't stick together for months. So if you have to wait for 12 years, there will be like many changes, I don't think it's possible, but it is important to take as long as we can. Okay, this is very, very important. And then I'm not talking about root guru, that is totally different. I'm talking about just ordinary guru that we can learn. We don't have to look for a root guru, moment we start to practice. We can have many gurus, but then eventually we will have one root guru. That is something that we have to recognize. Okay, so now among the gurus, okay, among the gurus, again, there are many kinds. There are ordinary gurus. Okay, there are ordinary gurus. There are bodhisattvas guru, and there are Sambhogakaya gurus. There are Nirmanakaya gurus, and like Buddha, there are so many levels of gurus. And being an ordinary person, a beginner, we can't look for a guru like Buddha or Sambhogakaya, Bodhisattva, or Nirmanakaya. It's impossible. Even highly accomplished bodhisattvas, it is impossible because it's even we want, due to our impurities of body, spirit, and mind, we may not able to have such as highly accomplished guru. So what is important here? We have to look for a guru who is human being, who we can communicate. If I don't know something, we can talk to guru, ask the guru. Today, due to an advancement of technology, we can call gurus. Of course, not every day. We can send email, we can send messages to guru and ask about our practice, our practices. It is important. It is right to ask. But if you have a guru like Buddha, how are you going to send email? And does anybody knows the email of Buddha? Does anybody knows the Facebook of Sambhogakaya Buddha? Does anybody knows, or does anybody has the email address of Bodhisattva? No, we don't have that. We can't really come. Of course, again, there are some unique cases like there are such there's such a connection between bodhisattvas, highly attend bodhisattvas. There are cases, but for us, ordinary guru is the most important. The reason why, when we meet our ordinary guru, we learn. Okay, we learn from ordinary gurus. Okay, about Buddha Dharma, about practice. Okay, so when you start to listen, when you get instruction, then we have to apply into our daily life. And I've been always emphasizing one thing is that we have to be part of the practice. That from morning until we go to bed, our life becomes a living practice. We shouldn't leave everything in the book. Then moment when you close the book, our practice just ends there. That shouldn't be the case. So whatever we listen from ordinary gurus, we have to put into practice, and that's how we can slowly improve how we can make enhancement in terms of practice. From there, the higher we acquire knowledge, wisdom, and realization, then we are able to connect with higher and higher, and therefore, the ordinary guru is among the most important among all the gurus. Okay, so it is very, very important. And I know sometimes guru also gets scolding from students. Actually, the time is such that it has changed like 160 degrees. Earlier, all the students, they travel to India, and to travel to different countries, even Sri Lanka, like Atisha traveled to Indonesia, and there are so many stories. Guru traveling far distances to receive teaching. But today is other way around. The teacher has to travel very far to teach students. So in a way, climate change is true, but the true changes are taking in also us in spiritually. Okay, but anyway, it is good. Anyway, it is good. So guru is very, very important. And when you say guru, it doesn't mean that when you go to look for a guru, or when you meet guru, it doesn't mean that they will always, you will find always them in the sitting on the throne, like with a little bit of a smile, like almost no expression and not much of change, like a statue. No, this is not the case. You never know how you will meet guru. You never know where you will meet guru. There are many life story about meeting guru, and student. Like for instance, Naropa. I think when he accomplished so much. Accomplished so much, and then when he heard about one of his Yidam deities predicted that there's such called Telopa, then if you meet him, you will acquire tremendously in terms of spiritual realization. So so when he heard the name of Telopa, he was so excited and so like he was shaken within. So he went to look for a Telopa, and then he thought that Telopa was someone, very like, look very graceful, or will be sitting on the throne, surrounded by many like disciples, very expensive clothes. So when he asked people, "Can I find Telopa, guru?" He said, "No." But everybody said, "We don't know about Telopa, such a person you are looking, but we know one there's a beggar for Telopa." So he was quite surprised. So he again looked for a Telopa. Then somebody said, "Okay, there's a can you see that there's a like a wall, like half, like almost like fallen, and then there's can you see that and that's where this Telopa lives, beggar Telopa lives, poor man Telopa lives." So he could see a smoke. He thought that somebody definitely there. So when he went to see Telopa, and Telopa was sitting, and then he was like in the front of him there was a bowl inside, half dead, many fishes inside the bowl, and he was like like in a barbecue, sort of like it was like frying fish, and he was eating. Then he was like snapping his finger, and he was quite shocked, quite surprised. But then he said that, anyway, please be my guru. And the other person, no, I can't be. I'm very poor. I'm beggar. But anyway, he requested. Then he accepted his Naropa as his student. But then in reality, like this is to show that how teacher, to actually to dismantle our like sort of like belief, a general perception. So each time, like when he was snapping finger, Telopa was actually liberating sentient being from samsara to nirvana. So it was very unique. So you never know where you will meet your guru. So now coming to the qualities of ordinary teacher. So you can have here they are there. Okay. First, there are 8, 2, 4, and 2 qualities. So one thing again you have to keep in mind: we cannot find there could be many perfect teachers. They are but due to our negative emotion, we are not able to meet them. And also due to degeneration, due to for the time of degeneration, we may not find a perfect teacher, or you may not find the perfect student, not only teacher, but also student. So how we going to choose this? We have to see among terms of quality. If the teacher has 70% better quality or 60% better quality, then you take it as a teacher, But if the teacher has a 60% negative quality, then you don't accept, But once you accept, there's a saying, so if the teacher is not someone wrongly due to misinformation, and if you have chosen someone which is not really good teacher, and you may have received so many teachings. So what if you come to know this? So what you need to do, just let it go. That you move away. Don't criticize and come up with all kinds of equations. That would be not right way. In my opinion, that's what all the gurus in their life story we will come across. And today it has in technology age, we have to put everything in the Facebook, everything in the anything happens, it has to be Facebook, everything in the news, YouTube. That shouldn't be the case. If you have serious problem, you have to talk directly with the teacher, and then you can talk with the associate person or someone who is connected with the teacher. Then you can sort it out. Don't just blow up everything and then start. I'm not saying that you are wrong, but then you may have this good intention to protect others from this not qualified teacher, but by doing so, also unintentionally, you also hurt Buddhism and say, oh, somebody did something wrong. They say, oh, Buddhist teachers, Buddhist people, So there are people always trying to find, some faults just simply to sake of accusing, to make disgrace different religions. So that shouldn't be the case. Okay. So anyway, we should go back to the qualities. Okay. Now, the first among the 8 qualities for teacher, who has to be having moral conduct. Could be monk, could be layman, laywoman, who observe like even 10 act of non-virtue, who overcome all this wrong lack of morality. So person who has morality, this is very, very important. Second, the teacher who is well versed. That means that teacher has gone through so many different training, listening, contemplation, meditation. This is very, very important. So when you know about this quality, so at least you have an idea of whom I should expect, but you can't look for someone who's perfect. You don't, it's difficult because you might get it if you're lucky, but it is difficult, okay? So you need to make judgment, okay? It is very important because if the teacher is well versed, then teacher is able to help you whatever question that your other teacher may not be able to help you, because that is the purpose of teacher. Teacher is not to not just for having friendship or companionship. No, a teacher is someone that you can learn. Okay. And the third quality is whatever teaching that teacher is conducting, the teacher knows fully the meaning, inside out. If teacher doesn't know the meaning, then again it's not right. It's simply floating on words. That is also not right. So teacher has to, know the meaning profoundly. That is very, very important. The fourth quality, a teacher who is compassionate, not to just only to his or her student, but to anybody who is compassionate, to certain degree. I don't think we can't expect to be like a bodhisattva, like Buddha. That is impossible. But I think to certain degree, who is compassionate. This is also very, very important. And the fifth quality, teacher is not afraid of to answer question of student. Student may have different questions. A teacher is able to help you. But if teacher is not afraid to answer question, that becomes a problem. And then question has to be also reasonable. You can't ask something the teacher doesn't know. If you ask teacher how to do business, then I don't know how teacher will reply. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah. So you have to ask something related to Dharma. That is very, very important. So in this case, teacher is fully confident to help you in any question, because doubt is evil. That when you have a doubt, that will distort you inside out. That is the one most dangerous poison that one can ever possess. So any doubt you have to immediately remove. Doubt will create disaster in terms of practice. Okay. The sixth, teacher is very patient. Teacher has to be patient. If teacher is not patient, then very difficult. If the both teacher student like a short circuit, then there will be third wall going on. So teacher has to be very reasonable, very accommodating, and very compassionate. So anger has to be somehow managed. We cannot be free from anger, but we have to manage our anger. So this is very, very important. Just not teacher, even student. That's very, very important. Like earlier during the times of Buddha, when someone, the monks, among the monks, if the monk is very hot-tempered, he or she will be, a nun will be given a warning that careful with manage your anger. First time, second time, and third time. The monk community will ask the monk, other monks, not to communicate with this monk. So after 1 year, you get so tired, you have no one to talk to, So their way of dealing with anger. So anger management is very, very important. And patient. And 7 is like willing to explain again and again. Like if the student is not clear about the teaching, the teacher should help again as many times as possible until the student gets it. This is very, very important. If you just start to avoid, but you have to be again reasonable, logical. But sometimes, if you ask the same question going round and round and round and round, then it becomes a difficult. I had gone through myself many times. I was listening to question, then I was there for hours, and when I finally realized that it was the same question was going round and round and round and round, that shouldn't be the case. Okay, it's better you prepare your questions. So when you ask, you have to be direct to the point. Otherwise, if you go round and round, then it may just take a lot of time. There's not much of sadness or complaint. And 8 quality. The teacher is very very honest, and it means like what he says means what he thinks, and it's not very cunning or someone that again deceives students. So this is the 8 qualities. Okay, so you may not have all these qualities, but at least these are the qualities, and teacher also have to know these are the qualities that at least we can look forward to try our best, give our shot. And that is very, very important. And now this is the 8 qualities. Now coming to the 4 qualities is who is again well-versed, so able to take any teaching that student requires, who is well-versed in terms of Sutrayana, Mantrayana, or Bodhisattvayana. Who is able to help, very, very important. Second quality among the 4 quality is, who has so much of wisdom, wisdom acquired through listening, wisdom acquired through contemplation, wisdom acquired through meditation. So with such wisdom, the teacher is able to clear away the doubt. Any doubt that student may have, teacher is able to help. This is very, very important. Now, the third quality among the 4 is who always does according to Dharma, according to precepts, or according to Samaya, whatever, and also what he says or what she says does what he or she does. So this is very, very important. And finally, among the 4th quality, which is like the teacher is able to, able to differentiate between what is samsara and what is nirvana, and not just differentiate, knowing profoundly what samsara means, what nirvana means, knowing the truth. So these are the 4 qualities. And now coming to the 2 qualities, like this is what Shantideva said. If you can't remember how many qualities that your teacher must have, you may not remember. So at least each teacher who is whatever he or she is teaching, here it says Mahayana Buddhism or Hinayana Buddhism, whatever, has to be qualified. And also who is compassionate, who is willing to teach students. So if you can find someone, then even may cost your life. I don't think people go to that far, but anyway, that's what Shantideva was saying. So we need to, okay, these are the qualities. So, and also now explaining briefly about the Sutrayana quality, Bodhisattvayana quality, and Vajrayana quality. I will just go briefly, and I'm going to post this, in English in both Tibetan. Sorry, I was not able to complete in Chinese. It will come very soon, so we're going to post on our Facebook, and you will have this, leaflet. Okay. So now coming to the Sutrayana characteristics of individual liberation. Okay, they are basically 5 teachers. Abbot, ritual master, private instructor, resident master, and reading master. These are the 5. Generally, there are many qualities. I try to summarize. This is from Jamgon Kondro Jamgon Kondro Rinpoche's text from Shezadzur, one of the 4 treasure, knowledge of treasure, one of the 4. So according to this text, it says the teacher must, of course, when you have to conduct precept and give vows to monks and nuns, has to be perfect. This in terms of morality is very, very important. Okay, and secondly, who knows Vinaya rituals? That is very, very important. Thirdly, who take care of someone who is sick, could be monk, could be not anybody. All this master who should willing to help the sick person. This is very, very important. Okay, and the 4th is all his surrounding, who like always with him. If you see in the monastery, because you see in Thailand, and Sri Lanka, monks only live in the temples, even of course monastery same. So they in the monastery they have only monks or nuns nunnery. Yeah, so that's what it means. Okay, and 6th quality is like not just you're helping them in many ways, and also if the monk or student needs food, medicine, clothes, if you are able to help, you should help. Okay, this is very, very important. And most importantly, helping through Dharma in a teaching is the most precious gift to the student. Okay. For the best gift to teacher, of course, many things, but among the most best offering will be like practice. So this is something you to remember. And then finally, time to time, the teacher should give instruction to student what he or she should do, what they should avoid to maintain their precept. This is very, so these are the very, very important qualities that teacher student must have. Actually, like if you say, how we maintain this relationship between teacher and student. It's like a bee and a hot flower. You see, bee and flower goes back to many evolution, many millions of years. The bee never destroys the flower. It just gets honey, nectar from the flower, and bee helps flower to pollinate. So they have a very unique relationship, and they are able to maintain this relationship for millions of years, not just months or years, millions of years. So this kind of relationship that we must try to build with the teacher and student. We shouldn't look for a short-term relationship, but long-term, because our relationship sometimes can be very, very short. Okay, many times we see, they are like teacher shopper or student shopper. So that's true with the kids. Okay. Now coming to the Bodhisattvayana qualities. The first quality, the Bodhisattvayana quality. Okay, someone who is very tame. It's not like a wild horse. Who is very tame, like so. That is the first quality. Bodhisattva has to be very tame, very compassionate. Okay, that's one thing. Second, who always practice meditation, mind training, samatha, mind training, mindfulness. So, and then who also are what do you call sort of like a skill So all kinds of unclear or lack of dullness, all this, overcome. Yeah, all overcome. So very clear. It's not so, dull, unclear, very clear. And of course, third quality, that teacher has to be more knowledgeable than the student. If the teacher is less knowledgeable student, the teacher can't help. That is very, very important. Okay, third quality. The fourth is, and to help others. The teacher is very, very hardworking. Make a lot of effort to help benefit others. That is very, very important. And the fifth, the teacher is very well versed, very rich in terms of knowledge of three Pitaka, okay? Three Pitaka, or in terms of three training. Okay, this is very, very important. And also, teacher, who has a wisdom of, who has realized how she realizes, because who has gone through many training, listening, contemplation, and meditation, and with all this knowledge, realization is acquired. So fully, the terms of meaning that fully understood deeply from the root. That is very, very important. Okay, and then also, and number 8 is like teacher is able to teach the student what kind of teaching the student requires. You cannot just teach whatever teacher wants. You have to see student what kind of teacher the student requires. If you just start teaching, then most of them you will say student. You will see many times. Probably for a short moment you will be in nirvana. So that should be the case. So you have to teach something that student is able to observe and get it directly. That's very, very important. Okay. And then teacher does not look for a personal gain. Teacher does not look for a personal gain. Who is very compassionate, and there's no terms of kindness, willing to teach again and again. These are the very, very important. Now coming to the final quality of teacher, which is Vajrayana. This is something, again, many of us part of Vajrayana, so this is something maybe you should listen carefully. Vajrayana characteristics. So what are the qualities, the characteristics of Vajrayana teacher? Of course, you have the slides, so you are able to remember. We're going to post it so you will remember when you listen also. So generally, what are the this quality, generally speaking? So they always practice, always mind training. So physically, mentally, verbally, they are very stable. They are not unstable. They are not just unstable, very stable, because of their training. And the second quality is because they always keep mind training, always involved in mind training, such as mindfulness and meditation. So basically, they're well disciplined, very calm. So these are the things, qualities. This is the second quality. And the third is, teacher who has acquired so much of knowledge, and teachers are able to explain which one is the right part, which one is the wrong part, what kind of teaching is meaningful, which kind of teaching is not meaningful. So differentiate very clearly so that student is able to follow. So these are very, very important. And then the fifth quality, teacher is patient. Teacher is patient because many times students are not always tame. You know, sometimes student makes your teacher very angry. Sometimes, you know, it happens. You know, however, the teacher has to be very patient and teach the student. Make sure that student will not burst into, you know, fire. You know, burst into anger. So it has to be very, very patient. This is very, very important. And also, you know, teacher, whatever fault, of course, very serious fault, teachers not hiding, very serious fault. Something like deceiving someone, that would be very serious. And two wrong meanings, you know, student getting their well money, whatever, that is not right. And also teacher doesn't have this intention to deceive you know, the student, so that the teacher can acquire well power, whatever. So, you know, all these are very, very important. Okay. And basically the teacher has to be in a very honor. This is very, very important. Now here talks about guru. So what this is about the root guru. So what root guru means? Okay, you know, now there's a tradition. I don't know come from where. I don't know where this come from. I asked many Rinpoche Lama, they really don't know. Asking someone to be your teacher, root guru, not just teacher, root guru. But in traditionally speaking, you know, someone who shows the essence of mind, that becomes a root guru, and somebody who is able to transfer the knowledge directly to student, that becomes he becomes your root guru. And then I think this is also very, very difficult. But now if you say in our environment, someone who teaches for a long time, someone who someone that you follow for a long time, someone you learn from this teacher for a long time, then you can accept as a root guru. That is perfectly okay. So one thing you have to remember, that you cannot find someone perfect. Okay, someone perfect, that is impossible. Someone perfect, it is impossible. So you have to weigh. If the good quality is a little bit heavier, then you choose. You know, if the bad quality is a little bit heavier, then you just run away. You know, so you need to choose by seeing this character, but then don't just bring this list and look at the guru and try to find out. That would be not right way to go about. Okay, so this is important. Okay, I think that's all about it. Yeah. Okay, we have that. Okay, yeah. Finally, maybe I should say this also. So among all the qualities, you know, among all the qualities, I think I don't have that written. Okay, I don't have that part. So among all the quality, you know, what is important is, you know, you may have so many qualities, you can't remember all of them. You know? Even few quality we can't remember. So at least this one, you know, if you basically, if you're aware, I think this will help you, you know. So any teaching that you're receiving from any guru, there's a lineage. This is not I'm saying, okay, this is what in the text, that's what been said, you know, from all the Vajrayana teachings. Okay, so sort of like you know, like instruction in terms of instruction. Today, instruction is given just to understand, but early time where the student is very qualified, where the teacher is very qualified, the moment the teacher gives instruction, the student will totally receive, liberated. So that's one thing. Second is, there's not broken samaya involved among the gurus, among the lineage. if you're receiving teaching from any guru or anybody, the lineage has to be pure. There's no broken samaya. That is the second part. And third is like the guru has kept samaya as much as strong as possible, and also the precept. That is very, very important. And then, of course, whatever teachers teaches, there's a sort of pre-instruction, like hidden instruction, which you may not find in the text that come from guru. That's the reason why you need to listen. If you read from the book, you won't have it everything. There are many things that which were not explained in the text, but guru will simply explain person to person. Okay, that is called menga. Whatever could be generally the Buddha's teaching or the commentary by all the students of Buddha Shakyamuni, all the bodhisattvas, who knows the meaning deeply, and who have realized the meaning deeply, and above all, who is compassionate. So basically, these are the very, very important qualities for the teacher in order to really to be a good, perfect teacher. But again, one thing you have to remember, you cannot find perfect teacher, okay? 100% perfect, So you have to see. Of course, I'm not saying that there are no such teacher in this world. There are many, many. But sometimes due to our karmic effects, we may not find the teacher that we're supposed to want. But doesn't mean that other teachers are totally bad. So you have to just compare which one you think is the best. So you just accept as a teacher. That's how we need to follow. Let me give you a story. Like after Naropa followed Telopa for many, after going through all the training, I think 24 different hardship training Naropa, I think, went through. And then at the end of all the end of completion, so Telopa said to Naropa, hey, you should get some water, I'll make the fire. So Naropa went to get water and what. So he came back, and Telopa was sitting there, and he would stand up and hold his left hand on his chest like this, and remove his shoe, and he said, show me your forehead. When he showed his forehead, he used his shoe and gave him one knock on the head, and Naropa fainted for a while. He fainted for a while. And then after he wake up, all the teaching of Telopa was already transferred, like a money transfer. We transfer money. So transfer into Telopa, and Telopa said that you are actually perfect. Why you need to go through all this training is because you have certain degree of defilement or karmic debt. So in order to purify that, I have done this to you. So you never know how you are shown the true essence of mind, how you will receive the profound teaching. So I shouldn't try, because if I try, you may just get hurt and you may not get anything. Nothing will be transferred. So I would like to leave it here. So if you have any question, you will let me know now, okay? And next week, I will share the quality that needed for the student, and there are many others, how we approach and how we maintain. All this will be coming next week, and after that part, okay? So now, question and answer. Any question, answer?
So Rinpoche, I should read the question out?
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let everyone know they can ask Rinpoche questions by writing in the Q&A section. So,
also Facebook, who was reading Facebook?
So first question, Rinpoche, is, dear Rinpoche, when one ordinary being realizes emptiness on the path of seeing, does he he or she acquire the power and wisdom of a great bodhisattva, like performing magic and traveling to 100 Buddha lands. So on Tonglam, if someone gets Tonglam, do they get all these magic powers, Rinpoche?
I don't call this magic. It's yes, of course. First booming get 100 different. Yes, that's true. That's what it said. And then second will be more, and third will be more. Yes, that's true.
Okay, and then Rinpoche, last time you mentioned that a practitioner can also realize emptiness before the path of seeing. Can you please explain the difference between the emptiness?
Path of seeing. No, I didn't say realize. Part of application, you will have a sense of like experiences of what emptiness means. And like before the fire, you will feel the heat. Doesn't mean that you are touching the fire. Yeah.
So then the difference between the path of seeing, emptiness.
Or different. Then you are actually in the fire.
Yeah. Thank you, Rinpoche. So then Rinpoche, there's another question. Can you have more than one root guru?
No, not guru. Root guru is just one. There are many, like Thumasi, he had 19 gurus. Then when he heard about fifth Karmapa, then he had the special connection. So root guru is just one. Why do you want to have so many root gurus? You may get a headache.
What is the best way, Rinpoche, to communicate with our root guru for guidance and advice? It's difficult to say. Sometimes you may not ask somebody, but somebody may already become your root guru. Yeah. This also you should keep in mind. And then you can always learn from any teacher. It doesn't have to be from root guru. If you don't find someone, you can just ask from some qualified teacher. That is important. Yeah. And you should remember that qualities, not all, but at least the last, I think, few qualities that explain that it is very, very important. Yeah. Thank you, Rinpoche. So Rinpoche, could you please explain what is Samaya? When does it take place? Especially like when we get an empowerment, it's said that we can't break Samaya. Oh yeah. Once you become part of Vajrayana student, you already have a Samaya. But basically, when you in Kriya Tanta, like 8 act of non-virtue, that also counted. And then besides that, there are many others. You may not have to follow all the 14, but Samaya could be like if you receive initiation together with others, so all they become Dhamma brother and sisters. So one's not supposed to criticize each other, all this. Thank you, Rinpoche. And then this question is about the process of how to take a guru as a root guru. Should we ask the master, or how should we do it, Rinpoche, to get a now I think there's a tradition of asking someone to be guru. I mean, there's nothing wrong, you can ask, but once you ask, make sure that you maintain like a bee and honey, flower relationship. It shouldn't be like a fashion, like it shouldn't be fashion. It shouldn't be like a season. It's not a kind of seasonal. I know how hard it is when you get married. Keep relationship with the husband and wife. It is very hard. It is difficult. But then guru and student is different. You don't have to live together. It's like how bee and flower maintain their relationship for millions of years. At least we can maintain for at least for 10, 20 years, yeah, 30 years, 50 years. And then Rinpoche, there's a question that in the Vajrayana, Tantrayana tradition, it says if you do not receive the blessings of a guru, then your practice is in vain. There's no result. Is this true, Rinpoche? You need a root guru? Yeah. You may come across many times. Yes, they say like a guru blessing may not guru touching hand on, keep putting hand on someone's head. The guru blessing may comes in the form of guidance.
Guru's aspirational prayers. So it is very, very, in Vajrayana, without the root Guru, you cannot be Buddha. Yeah?
So Rinpoche, the next question, dear Rinpoche, am I right to say, if we learn from you and we get some realization, some knowledge, then you become our root guru? Is this correct?
Yeah, if you hadn't realized it, yes, then even if you don't like me, you become I become your root guru. I'm kidding. On the Facebook also, check that.
Rinpoche, I don't have the Facebook open, so if people can copy the question into the Q&A from Facebook, if they have it, that would be very helpful. Sorry, Rinpoche.
You know, my Facebook got locked, so I'm not able to open. So
Yeah, if Wang Chuk can put the questions in the Q&A, that will help.
oh,
So then we have more questions here, Rinpoche. And also, if,
no problem. Go on.
Denny can add the Chinese questions translated, that would be good as well, if possible. Okay, so dear Rinpoche, what is the best way to purify broken vows or samaya? For example, bodhisattva vows.
Give me a second. I'll help on you.
Yeah.
Broken samaya. You know, that's the reason why we need to recite Vajrasattva mantra. Yeah.
Yes.
Vajrasattva mantra. Then, but you have to know what we are broken. If you don't know what you are broken, so you know you have to have genuine sense of regret. That's first thing. Second thing, that you make sure that you don't want to you don't have to you will not do it again, and then recitation of Vajrasattva mantra and commitment, all these are very, very important.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, you let me know.
Somebody asked, what is impermanence? Impermanent means something that is not permanent, always changing, like our life. Today is the continuity remain, but what we are today, what will be tomorrow is different. It's like so it's different. And
Rinpoche, in this modern era, how can we know the quality of a guru? Often it is on the internet, they are in a different country, maybe India, Sikkim, Bhutan, and we are in Asia or Europe. What is the best way of knowing the qualities?
It's a good question. I think, many questions that I have answered. I think many of them are actually very good questions. Yeah, very helpful. I think before you begin to learn with someone, at least you should ask your friend or lamas or Rinpoche, anybody, that do you know this Rinpoche or lama or this teacher? So you will get a rough idea about the person, and you can look. And now online you check everything, yeah, and then you start to follow. Okay, it's very, very important. Don't just jump and then it's oops, I'm wrong. Then you can't jump back.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
I think they are Chinese translation.
Yeah, are we getting them translated? I'm not sure.
What was that?
If you can,
one long one.
if you can read, Rinpoche.
Rinpoche accepted as 4 and refuge. There's always saying that refuge guru is also very important. they consider as a guru, but not necessarily mean that this is the root guru. Yeah, you can take as one of the important guru. Yeah, Daniel, is it that? Can you see that?
Yeah, now I can see Rinpoche, the in the chat there's some questions, so I can do it from there as well, Rinpoche.
What is that?
So there's some question, Rinpoche, about the do you say but what is the ordinary samaya and the samaya between guru and student? So sometimes you talk about tantric vows, sometimes we say the student teacher has samaya. Is this, what is the difference?
Like samayam is like once you receive teaching, tantric teaching, especially higher teaching, or when you receive initiation, then someone has become your teacher, yeah, or teaching about tantrayana or even transmission. So there's a special connection and relationship,
Yeah. And then Rinpoche, there's a question here. Can you explain further that when you get refuge from a Rinpoche or a teacher, sometimes they assume that this is a root guru.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not a root guru, Actually, refuge is taken only once in the lifetime. I've taken refuge from 16 Karmapa. That's it, Refuge means just to be part of Buddhist family. So once you become Buddhist family, you don't go out. I can become a Buddhist family so many times, So refuge teacher is very, very important. But of course, I've seen, as I don't think it's also wrong. There are a lot of people just take refuge just to make connection. In that sense, I think it's nothing wrong also, yeah.
Okay. Rinpoche, how often should we do Yidam practice in our busy life?
Every day, or every day, like I do every day, just one, at least once. And of course, when you're in retreat, you have many sessions, but like we do every day, Yidam, Guru Yoga, Makala, all this every day.
Rinpoche, now because of COVID-19, we can only listen to Guru's teachings on the internet. So how do we maintain the relationship between Guru and student?
How we maintain?
Yeah.
Maintain online, yeah?
Online.
Yeah, just respectful to each other, okay? Respectful to each other. And then most importantly, whatever that you learn, you try to follow. I don't know, we are not 100% perfect, but at least try our best to practice. I think that's very, very important.
Yeah. Do you see any Facebook questions, Rinpoche?
Any Facebook question? Oh, there's one. Wow, what's this? It's a good question. They were saying that they just want to concentrate one sadhana. I know it will become difficult when you have to do so many sadhanas. After all, I think one way how we can practice at least is like when you do a Thara or any other Yidam practices, you can visualize Thara or other Yidams are part of the embodiment of all Yidams, so that at least include. So actually, we have one short practice. We are redoing again. So probably another few months we will complete. So it has from morning until your Guru bed, Yidam, Guru Yoga, Makala, and others, all in one book. So we are redoing again. So probably later I will give transmission, and also I can teach on that. So anybody wish to follow if they don't have other practices, so you're always welcome. Okay.
So we have one from Chinese Rinpoche. So translation: if my guru gets married and gives up his monastic vows, I guess, what should we do, Rinpoche?
You know, I mean, see, it's a difficult question, you know, but it is very important question, you know. So for me, I will not, I mean, I think I will not criticize. I mean, I make a promise to Buddha that I don't want to criticize any monk or anybody, you know, because we don't know, you know, like I said, like a Telopa, you know, the student expected Naropa to be something very unique, and then he found he was killing fish and eating, and he was very different. You know? So you never know. But then at the same time, there are gurus who are not perfect, you know. So so you need to see, you know, if the teacher is good in terms of practice, the guidance. I think that's, I mean, we have to just accept, you know, just accept, you know. There are many laymen, great master, you know, not just monk and nun. So we have to just accept and learn to live with, you know. I think at least not to criticize, because it's difficult to say, you know. You may keep hearing from different like people that, oh, he is such and such, she is such and such, you know. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to know someone truly from their heart. At least tiger, we can say tiger, but there's a pattern, you know. But the human pattern is inside. We don't know who they are inside. So best thing is not to criticize, left aside. If you think that, you know, like someone who's not doing according to Dharma, who is truly wrong, just leave aside and just move on. You know, that happens in life many, many times. You know, you will cross many, many difficult times and ugly moments in life. You just forget and have to leave, move on. Because if you cling to something, then it's just prolonging your life. Yeah, prolonging your suffering. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Another question from translation is, what should we do if a refuge guru has passed away, Rinpoche?
Huh?
The refuge guru, if the refuge guru has passed away, what should they do?
You know, a refuge guru passed away, then, I mean, you already become a Buddhist, you know. So it doesn't really matter, unless if you want to take again, but then not necessary, but for connection, you can take again. There's nothing wrong, yeah? And Daniel, I have a question in Facebook here. Audio is very low. It's sound very low. Okay. Root guru. Someone asked difference between guru and root guru. Root guru is someone, again, above guru. Yeah? We have to treat someone above guru, someone that you relate always to your practice, you know. And guru could be just someone that, you know, occasionally you meet, you learn, you know, you communicate. But root guru is something that when you practice guru, then you visualize a root guru, and you can visualize other guru is the embodiment of your root guru. That is okay. And there's another question that His Holiness Karmapa, you know, of course, he's our leader, he's the main guru, you know, he's Buddha. So he of course, he's above all, okay? Above all, but then you may still have a different root guru, you know, so that should be the differences, you know. Karmapa, His Holiness Karmapa is our guru, you know, our guru, but then you may have someone your root guru, you know. So that's the differences, huh?
You have time for more questions, Rinpoche, or?
Yeah, no problem. I have time as long as you don't fall asleep. Huh?
No sleeping, Rinpoche. We are very attentive. So Rinpoche,
you can have a look. My dog become big. Last time I showed you so small. Now she becomes so big.
Oh, beautiful Wangmo. So Rinpoche, people are asking how they request you to be their root guru. How can they
Huh?
people are asking how they can request you to be their guru. How does this happen?
Oh, wow, good question. I don't know how to say that. I mean, now the tradition, there's someone asked to be your guru, and that's a tradition. So I just accept.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, there's a question about the difference between like Theravada monk and Mahayana monk and Vajrayana practitioner. And that's, you know, in Theravada, the monks cannot like directly receive something from a woman. They can't, you know, touch the woman, shake hands. But it seems like the Tibetan monks, they can like shake hands when they see. So Rinpoche, what is the difference here? Is there a different Vinaya? And
I
then
think, the between see, Tantrayana, Bodhisattvayana, Mahayana, and Tantrayana. Yeah? In Vinaya, in Thailand, Sri Lanka, they follow strictly what the Vinaya says. You know? But then, in Vajrayana, some do, but not strict as Vinaya, but mainly, I would say, follow Tantrayana precept, So these are the differences. Because in Tantrayana, if you discriminate women, then you break in one of the 14 samaya. Yeah.
So then,
I mean, there's shaking hand, touching head. I mean, when you bless, you have to touch your head. Yeah. So without, you cannot use rubber hand to bless someone. Yeah. So it's a different tradition, a different system, custom, different set of rules. So it's different,
Yeah.
So you can't mix why, become confusing. So that has to be separate. Which tradition you follow? Okay.
So then, Rinpoche, the question is, if they're a layperson, how do they know what to do with the different monks, or is there something they can read like a Vinaya for? Or Vajrayana?
You have to see if you're in Thailand, Burma, or Sri Lanka, you have to see how they do it. Be smart. Look at what people are doing. But in Tibet, and it's different. So you have to just see how. You have to just know. Oh, there's such tradition. Such what they call customs. You just have to get used to it.
And Rinpoche, there's a question around when you take, when you ask Guru to be root Guru and they accept, is there a ritual for this, is the question?
No, there's no ritual. Like I said earlier, Telopa just knocked on the head of Naropa, then he became a root Guru, yeah? And someone who, shows the mind, but somehow you're able to rally you. So there's no such ritual, but you can request, request that, that is, that's what I've seen people doing now, Like I like I've had one story, like one of the Kamapas monk who was very devoted, but he was very difficult, stubborn, who don't want to listen to teaching of Karmapa. So Karmapa wanted to help him how to liberate him. So one day Karmapa said, you bring me a cup of tea in the most precious cup, made of jade. So when he offered Karmapa just gave one slap on the cup fell off and broke, and he was so shocked. He was so shocked. And that moment, his mind was very clear and focused and disturbed. He said, look at the mind. So suddenly this monk became actually recognized the essence of mind. Yeah. So he became a guru immediately, So, it's difficult to say how and when it happens. But that such situation is very rare. Yeah. But if we follow someone, and I think both teacher and student, we need to work extra hard to keep our connection. Yeah. Like a bee and flower.
Mm-hmm.
Bee never hurts the flower. Flower never hurts the bee. So their connection, and like a swarm and the pond, they play in the water pond, they, swim, they actually has the what do you call it? Tickling water, so they don't harm the pond, but pond doesn't harm the all the swim or ducks, their connection has been for many millions of years, but I think the human, we are the one, wherever we put our footstep, we destroy everything along the way. Hello, Daniel.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, we're coming to the end of the time. Do you want to do one more Facebook, or what do you want to do, Rinpoche, now?
I think there's no question in the Facebook. No more. There. Huh? I couldn't open my Facebook. I'm using my Lama's one. I couldn't open it because. Got it. Huh? Did love sense. I think that's all, yeah. But anyway, we will meet next week. We'll continue. Now your qualities, So I've done what we need, whatever we need to do. So I've shared from next week, what you need to be, okay? That will be for next week. Then the third week, from third week for at least 6-7 weeks, we will focus on Pardo. I've worked very hard, almost 2 weeks. I've actually gathered from many texts, mainly from Kamashingta and Agdichuden, and for many others. I've compiled the whole Pardo teachings, which is very different from what we hear in Pardo Todo. Of course, terms of essence is the same, but the approach is very different. So I'm going to share with you this, probably will be 6-7 sessions. So we're going to have a lot of discussion, okay? Anyway, is it Saturday today, Daniel? Oh, yeah.
Yes, Rinpoche, Saturday.
Yeah, have a nice weekend. See you next weekend, okay? Thank you. All the best.